Welcome, Bunker Labs, to the All In campaign. I am Liz Marion, your Launch Lab Online Community Manager, and I am so excited to bring these interviews to you as part of our All In. So we are all in for you, and we are elevating other entrepreneurs and bringing a spotlight on them and what they are doing right now to move their own businesses forward and how they are changing it up. And today I'm so excited to welcome Reda Hicks. How are you, Reda?
Hi, I'm hanging in there. I think that's pretty much the state of things for everyone right now.
Absolutely. So can you just give us a little bit of an introduction to yourself and to your company and what your company's doing right now?
Sure. My name is Reda Hicks. I am a military spouse based in Houston, Texas. My husband was an Army Special Forces soldier. He retired in 2015 after 22 years. I've actually been in Houston since 2005. We are a GeoBatch family, and I've been a practicing attorney since then. I started my company, GotSpot, about 2 years ago to address some community needs I saw among small businesses. GotSpot is every day an Airbnb style model for commercial space sharing that connects businesses that have space with people who want to rent their space for hours or days at a time. Right now, what I'm working on is a special project for GotSpot called Rescue Spot, where we are working with local community leaders to try to activate specific kinds of space for emergency response. So restaurants turn to community kitchens, cold storage for people with perishables they can't sell right now, storefronts that can be used as like drive-by distribution centers for relief goods, and places for people to house their pets while they're feeling overwhelmed and don't have the bandwidth to be able to take care of their four-legged family members also. So that's primarily what we've been focusing on right now, is trying to get that up and running, first in Houston, and then we hope it's replicated in other communities.
That's awesome. And how are you getting the word out about the Rescue Spot, and how can we share that as well with our community?
Sure. So we only just started getting the word out today because we had to get a little scrappy with the tech. We are a self-funded startup, and we had been working on Rescue Spot since the fall, but it was not ready for prime time. We were thinking that we had until hurricane season to be ready. And so actually enlisted the help of a number of really amazing tech volunteers to help get the coding put together to go live. So we just started getting the word out today, and the best way to help is just to watch GotSpot Inc.'s social media channels, and we'll be pushing out information about how you can help if you have space, or how you can find help if you need space.
Great. Well, we will be sure to share that in the comments below. Also, this sounds like you have really taken on the challenge as an opportunity in your business and necessity, right, that is happening around the country. So what would you tell other entrepreneurs that they should keep doing during this time and uncertain times?
So for us, the two things that have been really critical to keep doing are, first, keep regularly checking in on your people. This is such an isolating kind of emergency. It's not the typical kind of come together emergency. I mean, we're all coming together in our own way, but we're having to do it from a distance, and the mental load for a lot of people is really overwhelming. So we actually have set a cadence where we message each other daily, and we try to have calls as a team twice a week, partly to check in on work, but also just to do a well check and make sure everyone is okay and no one needs a 5-second dance party or sharing an adult beverage or just a minute to vent about the kids or whatever that looks like. But the second piece of it really is breaking it down. And what I mean by that is, right now, all of the tasks in front of us, especially small business owners, are massive and uncertain and scary. And so the way we've been able to keep going is breaking it down to, okay, what do we need to do this week in order to stay afloat or keep moving forward or whatever that looks like? And how do we break that goal down into actionable things that we can tick off of a checklist as we go through our week together? And just making it bite-sized and digestible. For me, it has been a huge help for my sanity, but it seems to be really helpful for our team too, so that we can, count how we're moving forward, even though we don't have answers to the big questions right now.
That's great. I love that. That's very like actionable steps too, which I wouldn't expect any less. Also from a military spouse entrepreneur, so using those competencies from military life,
Right.
absolutely. So, but what would you suggest to entrepreneurs then to stop doing, to stop maybe being distracted by as our priorities change?
Well, I can't say this works for everyone, but for me and for our team, it's been really important to stop watching the news. Um, Not stop being informed, but there are ways to get digests and to, check with your, Twitter feeds for your local enforcement agencies and that kind of thing to stay informed and know what's going on. But it's so easy right now to get sucked into the 24-hour news vortex, and there is news coming out all the time, but most of it is scary and not particularly helpful to how we're all going to get through it. So my practice has now been taking time to check print media in the morning and then at lunchtime and then in the evening, and just saying, okay, I'm informed enough. I know enough right now to make sure that my business is doing things, by the book according to whatever new executive orders in place. I know enough to make sure that my family is doing things to stay healthy and keep other people healthy. And that's all I need right now. And then what I need to do, instead of focusing all of my attention on that, is to really stay focused on what I can move the needle on today. Right? Because I
That's it.
can't
Yeah.
finish the state of world events. I want to know what's going on, but then I want to shift my focus back to what can I affect today.
That's such a powerful point of taking it day by day, and also what can you do today to move your business forward. That's great advice. And also, as we talked about, this has really kind of been a catalyst, so to speak, for Rescue Spot to for the timeline to speed up a little bit. So, how would you tell other entrepreneurs to also utilize that kind of sentiment maybe to start doing other things within their business?
So I think it's a couple of things. The biggest one is I'm going to start being more mindful about celebrating every small win. I mean, some days especially right now, it feels like getting out of bed and then making your bed is a big win because I adulted today and my kids may be crazy the rest of the day, or one more order comes down or whatever that looks like. But like the things that are in front of me that I can do, I'm doing. I think that same thing has to apply to our businesses. So whether it's I uploaded my bank statement so that my bookkeeper can keep track of it, or we checked these couple of things off of our group to-do list, or whatever those small things are that typically are just givens. I think it's really important, especially right now, to actually take time to celebrate them. One, because we all need that sense of accomplishment right now, but the second reason is because I think, especially right now while our teams are so stressed, it's really expressing gratitude is an important, way to combat what's an otherwise really tough mental load right now. When people feel appreciated, it's a lightener, right? And so I'm trying to be more mindful about that now. What I hope is, since we're looking at probably a few weeks of this craziness, it will become a habit that stays in our team to celebrate those small wins and express gratitude to one another.
That's yeah, and starting those habits now. I think that is
Right.
also a good point to start the habits now, because by the time we come out of this in a few weeks, that's how long it takes these habits to form. So
Right.
getting those good habits for
That's
business.
the hope anyway.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's like keep a reminder as another habit. It's like reminding yourself that this is a time to get this stuff to stick. So are you using any resources right now, or what are you checking, for your business to move your business forward? Is there, any resource that you would suggest to other entrepreneurs, whether it be a podcast or a YouTube channel or anything like that?
One of my favorite resources right now is actually a daily newsletter by a man named Lenny Rachitsky, and you can go to lennyrachitsky.com and look it up. But what I love about it is he puts out a newsletter at least once a week and sometimes more. And some of it is, here are the things that have been on my mind as a multiple time founder that's wanting to share wisdom. But more often, he is responding to people who have reached out to him and said, I have this particular challenge and can you please help me? And so what I like about it is it's quick and actionable and you can always learn something from it. And when you reach out to him, he's actually responsive. So just by way of example, he just finished a series on how to kickstart a marketplace. And it was amazing because he just broke it down into these little actionable things. And it was so easy to follow. And I just really appreciate the tangible, especially right now. So that's one resource that I'm really loving right now, is the Lenny Richitsky website. He keeps a blog there. You can also get it on Substack.
Awesome. Well, we will drop a link to that below so you can subscribe to the newsletter. But Reda, thank you so much for sharing. And I can't wait to hear about what happens with your business on the other side of this. And in terms of Rescue Spot, not only do you have Got Spot, but now you have Rescue Spot. So thank you for sharing that with our community.
Sure thing. It's been a pleasure, and stay safe out there, everyone. We're sending you positive vibes as much as we can.
Absolutely. Thanks.